At this point, I just vlog my life. We do aquarium videos, we build really cool ponds with my team, my boy Hector. He's got the squad, and we just document that lifestyle, living with all these animals. I know a lot of you love the fish, but I've got some people that love just the farm animals, so it's a good mix between the both of them. I started in my parents' backyard way back in the day, good old days. I was about 14 years old, still in middle school. I worked at a bait and tackle shop. I would go from school to the bait and tackle shop and then make some YouTube videos. And it was, it was dark. If you go way back on the channel, all the videos are at night. It's all nighttime because that was the only time I was able to film. Once I started doing that, I understood that I really like this. I was like, I love creating content. Like, content for me was just like, I feel like I was born to do it. You know what I mean? It's in the blood. I really enjoyed it. And at the time I was like, how do I turn this into my life? Like, I just want to do this 24/7. That's all I care about. It's all I ever wanted to do. So I told my parents, hey, is there any chance I go homeschool? They looked at me with 4 eyeballs. They were like, absolutely not. There's no shot, right? They're not going to, what's this internet thing? At that time, it wasn't anything compared to what it is now. So I had to prove to them that that's something I wanted to do. So I took on the courage of just working 24/7. I probably slept about 3 hours every single night for about 1.5 years, 2 years straight. I uploaded every other day. I don't think I missed a day. And with that hustle and that mentality, and to be honest, I get this question a lot. How do you become a YouTuber? How do you become a creator? I want to make videos. I want to do that for a living. And I'll say this and I'll elaborate on this a little bit more later, but it really does take consistency. And that's all I did my entire coming up. Through middle school, I started just digging these ponds, and I was like, the fishing stuff really wasn't working because it was so difficult to get a video. You could spend money on the gas, right? The bait, everything you need to catch fish. You don't catch a fish, you don't have a video. And at the time, fishing was my hobby, so that's all I ever did. I took that passion and I turned it towards like fish keeping. At the time, I really didn't know anything, right? We all start somewhere. I made a lot of mistakes. To have a bunch of people watching you online making mistakes like this, you're getting wrecked. Like, people are going in the comment section, you're reading stuff that you probably don't really want to read, but you get used to it over time. And especially now, I'm used to it. And I have the great, audience that I have, the Cuffaros, we call them, all you here in the audience, like, you guys back me up all the time. But, things happen in this hobby, and I learned a lot. I still am learning a lot, especially getting into the saltwater thing now. But making those videos, coming up like that, it was really, it was tough, but I had so much fun doing it. It never even felt like I was doing anything. That was just my life. Like, I just really enjoyed it. So through middle school, I started making these videos and getting some publicity, like some attraction going now. At this time, I told my parents, hey, what about now? Maybe, can I go homeschool now? I need more time. I don't have any time. I need to accelerate. And the only way to do so is I need the time to make more videos, focus more on the content and the quality of the content. And you got to keep in mind now, starting a channel now, the niche is so wide, right? There's so many different creators. There's so many people doing it. At this time, 8 years ago, the niche was untouched. There was no one making these videos, right? I can go to Walmart and buy a Tupperware and put bait in it, and I got a video. It's going to get 2 million views. It was amazing, right? I'll build a pond for $25,000, and the video gets a quarter of what that video did. It's a much different world we live in with the social media and how big it's got and how saturated that market is. But once I finally started getting traction, my parents saw that, okay, we should give this kid a shot, right? They're like, let's just let him go homeschool, and I applaud my parents for this one. They let me go homeschool. I went ahead and never did a single class. The second I got to be homeschooled, I never touched a single thing. My parents saw that my views were going up, right? My audience was growing, that if I put this effort towards something, that it could actually turn into a living. And I went full force, full blown for the next 2 years, saved up some money, got my own house out in the farm, at the very first farm. We grew that so crazy. It was almost a 3-acre property. And it kind of outgrew me, and I was a little far from family. Close family guy, I love my family. And I wanted to be closer to home. So I ended up getting the house that I'm at now. And we've continued to make so many great videos at this property. Built a team, of course. My mom's working for me now. My younger brother's working for me now. It's a really crazy experience, and the fact that I'm able to do it. Thank you, everyone, for watching the videos, because, of course, it's not possible without y'all. This is the reason why I'm standing on the stage right now. And I do want to make sure that y'all know I'm very appreciative of you watching my videos. I find enjoyment in making this content. Like, it's like almost meant for me to be doing it. I don't have any other passion other than this. And for me to be able to come to an event and have a bunch of beautiful people here with me, it's a blessing. So I want to say thank you. But that's really my story. I started when I was a young 15-year-old kid. I had a passion for it. I really wanted something. And I feel like it's inspiring for other people to understand that, because it really does take a lot of hustle. this niche, back to that topic, is very saturated now, and a lot of people ask me how you can become a creator in this day and age. It's very difficult, but I have two things I'll tell you if you really do want to become a creator right now is consistency and be you. And I say be you because being you is what's going to stand you out from every single other creator. A lot of people go onto YouTube and they want to be this YouTuber, right? But you're just going off of someone that's already succeeded in that niche, in that genre. Like, you got to stand out, be someone that you've never seen online, buy a fish that someone's never bought, build a pond that looks nothing like anyone else's pond, right? That's how you continue to grow. And I think that's what's helped me stay, in quotes, relevant right through this whole entire stage of social media growth. It's a difficult thing, but I really do enjoy it. And people see through that as well. You know, people understand when you're watching a creator, you could tell if this guy really cares or not. You know what I mean? And the fact that we can all come together and be here, I'm sitting here on stage talking to you, is exactly what I love. That's why I do what I do. I'm going to do a Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, just raise your hand and I'll answer whatever. How do I manage everything? My team. I got a very close team of trustworthy people, man. It was a lot getting to that point. My younger brother does a lot of the farm stuff with me. So I've taught him the waters, the feed, you know, cleaning the fish tanks with me, the skimmers, right? All that stuff, testing the water. I have a good aquarium guy, Tommy. You guys probably know Tommy from the videos. Tommy does a lot of the saltwater stuff, and it's cool to have him because he's very knowledgeable. And if you've watched the videos with Tommy involved, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, every word he says is almost like you got to pull a dictionary out and try to figure out what he just said. You know what I mean? So I learn a lot every single time he's at my house. But it's good to have good people around you, trustworthy people. And over the last, couple of years, I've kind of built that around my family and around the farm itself. So how do I fund my projects? It's a great question. So my projects are all funded. Hopefully, if I do some crazy stuff like build a reef pond, that pond I think costs like probably between $16,000 and $20,000 to build. So that is funded through our sponsorships. So API, DraftKings, the people that we work with close for the last couple of years, we have annual contracts with these companies and they make sure to fund X amount of money so that we can build these videos. And I could say this confidently. I spend every single dollar I make on YouTube on the videos. I will say that confidently. That's how we spend it. So anything that comes in from YouTube AdSense revenue and then the sponsorships is dumped back into the property. And you guys, if you watch every video, you see at times there's 15 people working at the house. So it gets quite busy over there at the property. How do we get them? I have the best manager in the world. And I mean it with all my heart. I know a lot of people in this niche, and it's very hard to consistently lock down sponsorships and get good brand deals. Shout out to my boy TJ, great manager. He's a very smart guy, and he's just been in that industry for a while. And we have a lot of software behind what we do. We have a lot of data and software, which we run through all these companies. We see what companies are working with influencers and their budgets. And then we take that, we email, let's just say 50 of them in a day. The next day we do 25. The next day we do 10. The next day we do 50 more. And if 3 come back, there you go. And that's exactly how we do it. So we see if the company's working with influencers. If they are, what kind of influencers? After that, he'll pitch them the idea of me and what we could provide them. And they come back with a yes or no answer at all. And then if they say yes, we work on a price, get that dialed in, and then I build a pond. That's how it happens. It's crazy. There's a lot behind the scenes that I'd never even speak about. This is actually the first time I've ever even talked about it. And it is crazy. It really is. I love cars. I don't really care for jewelry and all this lavish things, right? What I do love is cars. I love cars. I always have. I grew up, my dad loved cars. My older brother got into them when he was younger, and I grew up with my older brother doing modded exhausts and all this crazy stuff. So on the side, off camera, I always am doing cars. It's just like the one thing that I kind of escape that hobby with, and I just boom, I dial into that. So I'd say cars is probably, I don't know if I'm going to make as many videos as I would like on that car channel, because I truthfully I tried filming one and it's weird to me. I'm so used to making the content I make. I sat there trying to talk about a car. I just couldn't do it. I choked so bad. And I was just like, I got to figure this out before I make a video. So if I added, what was your question again? My favorite car? My favorite car is definitely one of 2 cars. I love the SVJ, Lamborghini SVJ. It's a beautiful car. You got the Gintani exhaust, however you want to pronounce the word. That's my favorite car. And then I like 812 Superfast, which is a Ferrari. But I'm a newer guy. I like the newer stuff. If I'm going to go old style, like R34 GTR, the one that Paul Walker had in Fast and Furious. Yeah, that's another car that I really like. But those are like my top three. Top three. Those are super unrealistic, but maybe one day, if that's where life takes me, I can get a $600,000 car. But that's not my goal whatsoever. It'd be cool though. Maybe rent one. So that's a great question. Fresh or salt water? I loved freshwater. I think freshwater was like my go-to. It's my favorite thing in the world. I loved freshwater. I always had freshwater. Growing up, that was all I had when I made this channel in the first place. And I talked so much smack about saltwater. And I'll be honest about it. I did. Oh, who would ever want that? It's too much maintenance. Da, 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 da. I was wrong. And I'll admit that. When I got into saltwater, I don't even care about freshwater. I just lost 90% of my interest in it. I love the fish I have. I've had a lot of them for 6-7 years. All those fish in that pond, I've had them since they were this big, and now they're now 3 feet long. So I've had a lot of those fish for so long, it's at this point they're like my kids. And that's why I love them. But for me to go out of my way and start a whole nother freshwater pond, it would have to be something very, very high, like high quality. I would do some crazy stuff if I'm going to do freshwater. I also think for content purposes, salt is so much more fun. You get way more variety, more color. The beauty of it is 10 times over from what I've seen in freshwater. And now granted, some out in the audience might have a different opinion, and that's totally fine. But for me, I'm going to say saltwater. I think it was fresh. As of the last 2 years, I've flipped over towards saltwater for sure. Have I considered setting up a live camera on my reef pond? Love that question. I love that question. I have. You know what's something crazy too is I wanted to do a automatic feeder where y'all could go on a live stream, and whenever something comes through, it spits food out. I worked on this. I kid you not, for 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years, with a guy that did 3D printing and engineered an entire. I still have it. It's like this high. It holds 5 gallons of food. And it's programmed to where if I do a live stream on YouTube, it would spit food out. If someone was to send whatever, 5 cents, whatever the whatever triggers it, right? And I wanted to do it so bad, but I just didn't trust the machine enough. I didn't trust, like if I'm not home and it jams, people are spending whatever it is, $1, right? And nothing's spitting out. I can't, unless someone really does it, a full-blown engineer where it's not going to mess up and this isn't just like 3D printed. I don't see myself ever doing that. And I had built that for no reason, but I learned a lot through that process to where if I ever want to do it again, I know a lot. And then to go to your question, the 360 cam, like imagine having one in that you could like kind of spin around and see. I would love to do it. I think it's something I would do once it's all done. When the whole entire thing is finished, the inverts are all in, all the fish are good. Most definitely could look forward to that. And I'll probably have it on the very front and center of the YouTube channel. That way you can just log on whenever, see it, and enjoy the view. For my members, I did do like a 45-minute straight video of them swimming. It was just like that. And I posted it up for the members with some nice, soothing, relaxing music behind it. And a lot of people are like, I love this. I went to sleep listening to this. And you can just play it on replay. It's really cool. And you don't even notice once the 45 minutes over, it reloops and you wouldn't even notice. So that's one thing I did do for the members. And if you remember, you probably saw that. But eventually, I would love to do that for sure. My cats, free roam. Yes, I used to have a lot of rats on the property. And I highly encourage anyone that has a farm that has rat problems, just get a barn cat. It's so simple. It was the craziest thing ever. I rescued 2 cats that were malnourished. They were horrible condition, probably would have died. And I grew them up. And at the time, we got them outside. They were a little small for my liking. I didn't want to hawk to get them or anything. But once they dialed in out there on the farm, I used to have rat poop everywhere, holes in all of my feed bags. They were chewing through everything, making nests under the barn. It was disgusting. It was nasty. And I put those cats out there. I haven't seen a single thing of rat poop, not even a little poop, not even a single thing. They keep them all off the property. So free roaming cats, highly suggest if you have a barn or any sort of rat problem, just get cats. I didn't want to do the whole poison thing. One, because that's miserable for the rat, right? And two, my dogs, if the rat was to take the poison out of the trap, bring it to the middle of the yard and drop it, my dog eats the poison, I'm really going to want to go kill some rats if that's the case. You know, so that's about it. I've stuck my ways to my cats. They do a great job. Alrighty, well, I think that's it. Again, thank you. I love you so much. Aquashella 2024, we're out.